So, Bo, do you think Arsenal should sack Unai Emery, and who, if you think they should, who should they replace him with?
Very, very close topic, very personal topic, one that I've lost sleep over. Arsenal is we're in a tough position right now. I mean, heading into the season, I honestly believe this was a year where we were gonna break into the top four. We were gonna show progression past the old Arsene Wenger days. I really thought this was a year. You know, we bought Tierney, solid fullback, David Luiz, who I'm not a big fan of David Luiz, but he brings a little bit of experience into that backline. And then of course Nicolas Pepe, who was supposed to be, you know, a superstar, but and I still think he will be. Don't get me wrong. He just needs time. But one person that doesn't need time is Unai Emery.
So not a fan.
You like what I did there?
Yeah, I did like what you did there.
I backed Emery at the beginning. I thought he was a different character from Wenger, and he was a good change for Arsenal. I thought that at the beginning, and I thought last year we were making progress in the bigger games. We were showing up. You know, we got results against the likes of I don't remember even Spurs. We beat Spurs at home.
You guys had
a
big unbeaten streak as well too for the first half of last season.
Yeah, but it was more. I thought Arsenal. Yeah, well, you know, I think one thing that that Emery's lost. He's lost the fan base. You know, you look at Arsenal TV now; they all hate him. You know, they were backing him last year, and all of a sudden now it's Emery out, and I'm kind of with them in the sense that he doesn't really have a game plan. He has, if anything, he has too many game plans. Yeah. I mean, every game he's changing his lineups, he's changing his tactics, and you know what? Why don't we just win the games? Why don't we just focus on winning instead of trying all these like little tactical changes? Because we're not good enough yet for that. And that's where I think he's lost me, and he's lost a lot of Arsenal fans. He's almost too tactical. He's like he likes to tweak too much, and we're just not at that level yet. We can't be doing that. We gotta first put in some solid performances before we can try and put on a tactical masterclass.
Yeah, and to go back to when Emery first joined Arsenal, when he was first signed as Arsenal manager, I never was a big fan of him because of some of the struggles that went on at PSG, right? Obviously, with the conflict inside the club, it showed that he wasn't a great manager of personalities because he couldn't manage the talent at PSG to win the League One that year. And since then, he's come to Arsenal, and it was a good theoretical signing in terms of he plays an Arsenal brand of football, a pretty brand of football, as most Arsenal fans have so much pride in, despite not winning recently, have lots of pride in their brand of football. But the issue with Emery is he hasn't really shown up and like gotten the results. And I think like this summer we were expecting him to get nothing, and he actually got so much money to spend.
He got backed.
And I don't think he totally has a team yet where they should be competing with Liverpool and City by any means. He needs a couple more summers of that to be at the level where they should compete with Liverpool and City. But should they be in the top four right now? 100%. I know they're in fifth, but some of the performance as of late in terms of drawing, losing, I mean, it's just like the teams, they drew to Palace. They just had some very bad results.
Yeah, and I think the way I want to put it is I'm gonna draw a comparison to Man United, who are going through similar struggles. You know, a legend, Sir Alex, left the club, and you know, how do you replace a legend? It's the same with Arsenal. I mean, not to the same magnitude, but obviously Arsene Wenger, he was a big legend for Arsenal Football Club. And one thing I just want to say is, let's not be the club that waits too long, tries to give a manager too much time. I mean, Van Gaal was given too much time. David Moyes shouldn't even been given the job. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, already too much time. And I think Arsenal, as an Arsenal fan, I don't want to be that club that gives their managers too much time. It's clearly not working with Emery. There's clearly not been enough progression in 1.5 years for us to say, we're sticking with you, we're backing with you. We seriously backed this man in the transfer window. We gave him 70 million for one player. We bought him a fullback, we got him a center back, we backed this man, and what has he done? Absolutely nothing.
All right.
We're still shit.
So, okay, so you're totally Emery out, but now we've heard that Jose Mourinho has been at Arsenal, is starting to get linked to the club. Is that your ideal replacement?
Well, don't mistake what I'm saying. Big Jose Mourinho guy. I think he's, resume-wise, best manager in all of football today. But he's not the right man for Arsenal because, yes, he's a winner, and he's a proven winner, but he doesn't bring the brand of football like you talked about to the Emirates Stadium, which something as an Arsenal fan we pride ourselves in top quality.
So what is
football.
more important to you, winning or the brand of football?
It's a balance. And it's something the same that talk about Man United. Well, you know, Jose Mourinho, he actually he did quite well at United. The first 2 years you were there, then that half year kind of struggled a bit. But that first 2 years he was doing good stuff for United. And did you actually know? I'm just getting a bit off topic, but there's a stat that in any other Premier League year, Mourinho would have won the league with the amount of points he had United that second year.
Seen that.
It's just because City had like an exceptionally crazy year that United didn't win the league. So Jose Mourinho, I mean, he didn't win the Premier League, but he put on a performance that could have won the Premier League. And what I'm saying is he's a proven winner, but he's not the man for Arsenal because as an Arsenal Football Club, we value ourselves as a team that plays good football. Progressive football, and Jose Mourinho, he doesn't bring that.
I think he would be a good fit for Arsenal, and here is why. I don't think he's necessarily an Arsenal man in terms of the way, his style of play, also his spending too. But what does Arsenal need right now? Where do they need to be strengthened in their defense? If there is one manager in the world who you would trust to strengthen your defense, who would it be?
Steve Bruce.
Jose Mourinho. That's who I'm picking to strengthen my defense. What does Arsenal need? A better defense. They have all the attacking talent. They have Aubameyang, Lacazette, Pepe. They have those kind of players. They need a better defense. And what will he get if he signs there? He will probably be backed by the board to spend. So he'll be able to bring in a couple better midfielders, fix the defense up, and Arsenal are looking like a team that can compete once again.
I hear what you're saying, and I agree. Arsenal, we have been arguably the worst defensive team in that top six, that ideal top six. We've always been the worst defensive team of that six. But I'd like to point this out. Jose Mourinho, he's not something, you're not thinking of the future with Jose Mourinho. When you sign Jose Mourinho, you're thinking about the current, right? And if you look at Arsenal's squad right now, even if he brings in a center back, even if he brings in a center midfielder, or two center backs, whatever, we're still not good enough of a team, talent-wise and depth-wise, to win the league. Even if he was able to bring in a few players. It's going to take years and years for Arsenal to build a team that can compete with the likes of Man City and Liverpool, which is why I'm anti-Mourinho, and instead I think we should bring in a young manager where we think for the future. The likes of Mikel Arteta. He's been learning under Guardiola. He's been learning how to win back-to-back Premier Leagues under someone who knows how to play beautiful, progressive football. Mikel Arteta was an Arsenal captain. He's arguably an Arsenal legend. I mean, he wasn't at the club long enough, but he was captain of the club, lifted that FA Cup when we won it after that long drought. He's a legend. And in my opinion, actually, he didn't lift the FA Cup. I was mistaken with that. He's a club legend, and I think he's a young, promising manager who could help turn Arsenal into a team that thinks for the future. A team like Chelsea that in a few years down the line is going to be competing at the top of the league.
I think that is also a very good shout for a manager. My only fear, though, is that at this point, if you bring in a manager and it all starts to go downhill from here, you could be talking about, that is a massive risk, bringing in a manager that is unproven at this point, right? Because you're at a stage right now where you have a decent squad, but not good enough to lift themselves up without a decent manager. Emery's an okay manager, he's just not the right fit. If you bring in someone who struggles with the club, getting the support of the fans and the support of the players, Arsenal could be in very dire times moving into the second half of next season.
All right. First of all, we're not Man United. We're no Man United, all right? We're in no situation like that, all right? Mikel Arteta would no way be the new Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Arsenal Football Club we've got talent there, all right? And as far as I'm concerned, Arsenal's talent, Man United's talent. All right?
That's also a dispute for another video, but
and so as far as I'm concerned, why not take the risk? I mean, we might as well take it now. All right, because there's no one else in the market. Who else are we gonna bring in that's gonna be who's gonna be a huge difference maker? Because Jose Mourinho, he might come in and he might fix us for like 1 or 2 years, but then he's gonna lose the dressing room and get sacked. So why not take a risk? We've seen Chelsea take a risk, and it's worked out brilliantly for them. They're above of us in the table. We saw Leicester take a risk. I mean, Leicester, it wasn't really much of a risk in case of Leicester, but they've backed Brendan Rodgers, and look at where they are.
Yeah.
It's time for Arsenal Football Club to take a risk. Unai Emery out, Mikel Arteta in, Jose Mourinho, fuck off to Bayern Munich. That's what I say.
We'll leave it at that.